Chris Zelda, Torrin Vaughn, Coach Tierney, if you'd open up for comment on today's game.
I'm certainly proud of the outcome of the game. As I told the guys in the locker room, that we are, we're a work in progress. We're building this thing back up. After a really tough week for Hofstra lacrosse, when we lost 2 heartbreaking games, we had things rolling in a pretty good direction. Hopefully, we learned from this. That Dartmouth team is very well coached. I think we got it up to 10-4 at one point in time, and there was a play or two that happened that gave them, the momentum back. And the way the last couple of games have unfolded, I was proud of the way our guys stood strong and fought for the win. Adrian's last goal was a huge momentum swing back, and Chris Zelda, another double-digit performance. Torrin's got 3, and yesterday was a tough day of practice. So I'm glad that these guys responded. We'll enjoy it until the press conference is over, and then we have to start working on Towson. Questions?
Coach, obviously, how difficult is it? It seemed like it was clockwork in the first half, even though Lentipour wasn't playing today. But I mean, overall, how would you describe the effort of the offense without Newport's help there?
Yeah, I mean, it was 7-4 at the end of the half, and we have to try to emphasize it. We were watching March Madness, and listening to the North Carolina basketball coach. He thought he had lost the game in the first half, and we had said the same thing, probably about both of the games that we just played before tonight, where we didn't have a big enough lead. That there's going to be swings. This is Division I lacrosse. You guys write about all the games. That on any given day, anybody can knock off anybody. But I thought we did a better job. I thought we still left a couple on the table. I thought we turned the ball over twice in the first half that we're going to have to correct. But I thought we took a step. It's hard, and I got to give my guys credit. It's hard coming off of 2 losses mentally, and just when you just turn on a switch and get your swagger back or your confidence back. It takes time. It takes some plays to happen, and at times it did. It certainly happened in the first 8 seconds. We were like, oh, everybody kind of exhaled already. We had challenged the offense to get a certain amount of goals, every game, and they reached their goal this week, and there'll be a new goal set tomorrow morning. But it was a step, and that's what we're trying to do, is rebuild this back up to where we're rolling again.
What did you see from Ryan O'Leary after today?
I thought Ryan did a good job. Again, I don't know, did he have any points? I think he had maybe an assist. I don't know if he did. No. He had 2 assists. And I thought he could have had a goal at the end there. He was on that doorstep. It was a heck of a save. Ryan O'Leary, he stepped in. He's had a rough path, and I'm awfully proud of him. For him to start a lacrosse game for Hofstra University is probably going to be a highlight in his life, and he deserved it. He earned it. He has been practicing really well, and until we can get Lance back, he's going to see some time. So, Begley came back a little bit better today at the midfield, looked a little bit more comfortable. We had him at the attack, and it was a little bit of a chess match, but we're working at it. It's not due to a lack of effort, I'll tell you that.
But in your mind, what happened to Jonathan Idas in the second half? It seemed like there were a couple of things that he lost, and then a couple of false starts, and kind of lost his composure, got that 30-second delay game penalty also.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know if it was the 30-second delay game. It was you can't play a guy within 5 yards on a restart. So that's what it was. Anytime that you play against Dartmouth and you face off in the second half, it's going to be a tough day for you. Their head coach was one of the best face-off guys in the country, in Andy Towers, and he does an unbelievable job of adjusting. He does, and he did a great job. We threw out Vince Coltriano, and then on the last one we faced off Ryan Riley because we'd rather just have our whole defensive midfield out there with 40 seconds to go. It was a better scenario. Their last goal, I suggested that we go zone, and it's a very questionable situation right now, and I think that every time you watch a game, there's a guy that dives in the crease or jumps in the crease, and the same type of push happens all over the field, but when it's close to the crease, it's a flag. And there are coaches that are taking years off their life because of it, because we just got to come up with a happy medium on what is that call. And to give it credit, those guys were playing with a little desperation, and they got it to 11-9.
Adrian, last week, offense struggled. You come back with 11 goals today. You yourself didn't have a point against Drexel, 4 points today. What was the change, do you think, in today's game versus last week?
I think it was just a lot of practicing harder. We've been getting it as an offensive group, and it's difficult to adjust to such a good team like Dartmouth with such a short window of time. But I feel like the offensive guys have came a long way from the beginning of the year, and we've just been doing a lot of extra work going out with coaches.
Chris, talking about the defense, another double-digit save performance from you, but it's got to be good having that defensive unit like Hamilton, Mullen, and all those guys that are around you that are, making Dartmouth really work for those guys that really wound on the clock in the fourth quarter. You know, some big ones as well in the fourth to really deserve the victory.
Well, those three guys you talked about, they're great, helping me out every single aspect of the game, off field, on the field. So, I give all of them the credit. Every single shot I see, I like it. I should, or I want to save it, but they had good shooters today. Number 9, 42, they were great shooters, so they were pretty good. So,
Lauren, what did you see from Ryan O'Leary's play today? You're the beneficiary of a couple of his passes, stepping into that spot alongside you and Sam.
Yeah, Ryan O'Leary is a great lacrosse player. He's a guy that could step in and make a lot of plays. And I think in order for our offense to step up a little bit, we needed a guy that wanted to make plays and go hard all the time. And he did that today. I thought as well.
Torrin, talk about how your game's progressed through the season. As other teams know now, your profile, they've been trying to find ways to defend you. It seemed like they were trying to face guard you today. Really, how's your game tried to evolve halfway through the season?
Well, everything stays the same. They shut me off a little bit today, but we didn't really make too many major adjustments. The offense doesn't necessarily revolve around me, but around the guys on the perimeter. So, yeah, we didn't make many changes, but yeah, played well today.
Coach, after the 2 tough losses, was today really just about getting a victory regardless of what the score was going to do?
Yes. It was getting that feeling back, and I'm awfully proud of my guys. I am, and it was 1 goal, triple overtime, whatever it may be. Let's get that winning feeling, and let's go to sleep tonight with a smile on our face. Let's wake up, and let's get after preparing for Towson in a positive fashion.
You think there's kind of like an ebb and a flow to a season, and obviously, you want to start building as you get to the end of the season.
Yeah, and that's the plan. We start in mid-January with practice. This thing ends on Memorial Day. That's a long time to be playing your best lacrosse for 4 or 5 months. We got out to a pretty good start, had a couple pretty good wins, and listen, I wouldn't be lying to you if I told you I wasn't upset about the 2 other losses. We were probably a couple goals away from being one of the top teams in the country, and we got to get our confidence back, and we're in the process. It doesn't happen overnight, but the guys in that locker room are willing to work, and like I said, it's 1 game at a time.
The other day you said that you were going to let certain people know, what you expected of them. Message been received, you think?
Yeah, I think the message been received.
Anything else?